After seemingly getting fucked almost all of 2020,
in more ways than one,
we finally have reason to celebrate, and it is this fucking Friday. This Friday.
Yeah, it's the first Good Friday.
Ugh, man, it's not to be sacrilegious for some of you that talk about the one prior to Easter time. And
come on, was that one really that good either?
Yeah,
that was a decent Friday.
It's like, man, there are like 52 of them a year. I'm a big fan of Fridays, but this is the first one that feels like we're getting something.
Right.
The music is fucking on point this week. The Mead is on point this week, and the fucking MMA shit's on point this week.
Oh, boy.
All of it. All of it.
Yeah, maybe we should call this the first official show of 2020, because we can actually cover everything without being sad.
No, I mean,
fear of it being shut down.
Every bit of it is good. Now, for those of you who like to tune in to catch our ranting and raving like fucking crazy people with their hair on fire about how shitty life is, I think you're out of luck this week. We don't have time for it.
Yeah, blame Ruben. He got all my rage out last Friday, and I really enjoyed it. Again, anytime Ruben's on, man, it's one of my favorites. That guy just brings out the joy.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, well, especially when he starts getting angry. It's like, oh, we're rubbing off on him.
Yes.
It's like the happiest dude I know. He's like ready to like kill somebody last
That's
week.
why whenever he gets mad, I always shut up and listen, because it's such a rarity.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And especially, like when we were talking about that guy from Him and Swords talking shit on everything he loved. As soon as we mentioned it, his demeanor changed quick, dude.
Yep. Well, yeah, because that dude, he's one of the happiest people I know. And he doesn't want to be angry, but goddamn it, we kind of know what buttons to push with that dude. And it's usually like anybody's trying to steal his joy is going to make that guy angry.
Right. If that is your only goal, is to make him sad or angry, he's going to fight you tooth and nail, and you can't do it.
Yeah. And I'm always going to have his side on everything. It doesn't matter who you are.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, so it was nice to have Ruben on last week. Back to kind of fucking like a normal Friday, or what Fridays used to be.
Right.
Here on the Mead, Metal, and MMA podcast, getting together talking about Mead, talking about metal, talking about MMA. And we have topics aplenty this week.
Yeah, we do. Which is kind of weird.
Yeah. I mean, I don't want to completely bump everything. I mean, you got anything going on personally in your life you want to hit this week? Or
I don't know.
It occurred to me the other day. I had the analogy I can utilize in these trying times.
It's one of my favorites.
Man, I'm fucking so tired of that. I'm tired of hearing that. I'm tired of hearing people say, "Stay home and stay healthy." What? You don't know how I live. How do you fucking know my home is all that healthy? This is where all my tools and shit are at, and my guns, and my liquor. How is this the safest place to be?
I feel rather safe here because I know the insanity that holds within these walls.
Well, there's that. But the analogy I have, though, it feels like this. Feels like I was playing a big, epic video game. I don't know, like Grand Theft Auto, fucking Red Dead Redemption, anything. Whatever.
Right.
It feels like it was an epic game. The greatest of all time. Skyrim, whatever. I fucking get to the very end. Credits roll. I'm celebratory. I'm happy. And then all of a sudden, credits get done after 20 minutes, how they are now. And all of a sudden, then it goes right back, and the character is standing in the middle of the screen. It's like, we're kind of still playing, sort of.
Isn't this where the thanks for playing sign comes up?
And that's it. And it's like, so now it's just a free roam. That's what this shit feels like to me.
Yeah.
It feels like I finished an epic game, and now it's like, now what do we do?
I guess we go back and do it again. Maybe go find those things we missed.
Man, it's
tough.
Yeah.
It's gotten tough. It's always been tough.
But I do hate it because, we Thursdays we were watching Star Trek Picard for a while, and there was another series that I'm not really going to go into depth. It was one that Brandon had never watched start to finish on the thing. But the thing is, I'm a tight ass, so that means it's on Hulu, and I do the like like $6 a month Hulu, the one where you have to watch commercials, but it's cheap,
Right.
If I watched Hulu all the time, I would definitely fucking upgrade. But
sure.
But I don't. So that means we get a commercial, like 2 commercial breaks per like almost 1 hour show, right? Every goddamn one of them. Every one of them. It's like, well, times right now are kind of hard, but that's okay. Just stay home and stay healthy. This is the new norm. This is who we are now. And I just want to jam a big middle finger right their direction and say, go fuck yourself. This is not normal. I don't want this getting normalized. I don't want people going, well, this is just how we got to live now, because this is not how I'm going to live. This is not.
It might be too late.
This is not how I'm going to fucking live. And
Oh,
if it
no
doesn't,
way.
and if we don't start seeing some things where we gradually move back to what it should be, I don't have a whole lot of options out there. I will start finding people that have aggravated me and frustrated me this life, and I will fucking end theirs and thereby finish the game.
See, we've all made a list.
Yeah, exactly.
When we're really angry late at night, when we've been smited and spited by those that we thought cared about us. Might be time to break out that list.
Man. Well, that's just it. So for everybody out there, well, we'll get back to normal. Well, and it depends. It depends. There are some people that are perfectly fucking happy. And these are miserable cunts, by the way.
Sure.
Miserable people that are like, no, I can live like this. Yeah, so can I, but I don't want to.
Yeah, and I mean, I've been a proprietor of social distancing for a good while before it had a term. I don't want to fucking be around people.
I like to have the option of like, you know what I miss? I miss being able to walk into a place and a waitress saying, oh, follow me, seat me at a table, bring me out my water. If I can come by a couple minutes later, asking what kind of beer and pizza I want. That's what I miss.
Yeah.
That's what I want.
Wow.
That's what I want.
Right.
But we can't have it because, you know, there are too many people that are scared of dying from something. I think probably about the same number of people probably die in falling accidents per year of what this is equated to.
I think what it might be attributed to is people like, shit, well, I'm really not that healthy to begin with, but I'm able to irk my way through life and have a fairly relative normal existence. If I catch this, it's going to exploit everything else that's wrong with me and put me in the ground.
Yeah, and I get that. Hey, you know, but I know people, though.
It's still fear.
That are immunocompromised that say, hey, every year at this time, I'm staying home any fucking way because I don't want to get out and get in the public with flu and cold. This is the bad time of year for it. I'm going to wait till May, and then I'll come out of my shell and do my thing. I know a couple of people like that, and they're always saying, look, it's on me. I'm staying home. I don't know why they're fucking telling everybody else that are perfectly fucking healthy to stay home.
Sure.
You know, and then we get all these assholes that all turn into fucking experts in immunology. And like, oh, no, this is the only way we're going to combat it.
Like Dr. Drew and Dr. Phil.
Well, no, I'm talking about assholes on the street around this this town. Saying, no, just stay home. Because you heard that somewhere and you're just repeating it like a parrot, saying funny little fuck you words and things like that? Is that what we're doing?
It's a hard thing to judge and gauge because it's something that we've never really had to go through.
I know, but it's given power to people that want power.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
And stay the fuck away from people that want power because that's what this guy gives them. They're like, yeah, we'll just go home and stay home. But I got it. No. We'll be back to normal soon enough. No. When you start talking to these assholes and then you start finding out, oh, you're a proponent of getting things back to quote unquote normal by 2022. Well, you can come suck this dick.
Oh, fuck that shit. No, man. The people, and that sounds like a really weird term to use because it makes it sound like, oh, we just want to fight for our freedom and get that back. No, the people are going to be fucking furious. Oh. And when I say, I mean everybody. I'm not saying the Trump supporters or the Democratic folk.
Should be.
Everybody's going to be fucking furious.
You should be a little bit bothered if you're an American.
Yeah, exactly.
Because everything this whole thing, all the truths we hold self-evident and to be true, and the pursuit of liberty and happiness and everything, that's all been taken away. That's all been taken away in the past 6 weeks. You know what I want? I want that back. Yeah, if it's fucking running rampant and people are dying, that's bad, but I want to have the option of going, you know what? Yeah, but you know what? I'm going to take the risk. It's the same shit when I'm going 75 miles an hour on a 50, you know? I mean, it's on me. That's on me. And if I fucking veer off and die, that's all because of my own actions. But that is my choice. Liberty is that choice.
People are more worried about, like, fuck the choices that you want to make. They're more worried about how your choices will fuck with others. It's like, fuck off.
Even at the collapse of what it is that makes us who we are, and that is independently owned business. capitalism. Look, if you're wanting to tell everybody to stay the fuck home, you are an enemy of capitalism. I don't give a shit. Look, if somebody's selling pencils on a street corner like it's the Great Depression, whatever. If I don't want to talk to that individual, because like, no, I'm going to keep my social distancing up. That should be up to me. That should be. It's not. What the fucking is the government going to take care of the small business? We haven't seen shit.
No.
They take care of the corporations. They're great at that.
Oh, absolutely.
You know, and they send everybody $1,200 of hush money.
And it shut a lot of mouths, dude.
Yeah,
it did.
For
it
now,
really did.
But we're going on what, week 5, week 6? We're coming up on week 6 of this,
Yeah.
and people are already starting to lose their minds. And assholes are wanting to say, another year and a half, and we'll be fuck you, because of who we are and who we identify with as a people is going to be gone within 3 or 4 months.
Yeah. And in its place, it's not going to be something good.
All you fuckers that are like, oh, the Russians are fucking spoiling our elections. Well, yeah, but just let them go ahead, because apparently you don't care who we are anymore.
I'd like to open up a different chapter of the podcast
Sorry, I
here.
didn't mean to get all
that's
fucking
all right.
angry.
That's all right. I just feel like we need to lighten the mood a little bit.
Yeah, you bet.
If you're easily grossed out or offended by like bathroom activities, skip ahead about 2.5 minutes.
Oh,
Starting
we're getting ready to get gross.
now.
Okay.
So I wake up this morning for my morning ablutions, as I do, especially after a proper night of drinking.
Which is good.
yeah.
That ever comes to an end, then you need to.
Yeah,
you
if
need
I
to
wait, I'm
conserve.
like, there's nothing in there. Oh no! So I'm in there. I'm like half asleep, just trying to get my bearings straight and get all this hot sour soup out of my body.
Send the old dookie to the neighbors.
And so, you know, like afterwards, you finish the hard stuff, and you just kind of sit there for a little bit, just wallowing in your own acrid stench. And just I'm
You
certainly
do things
not
differently than I, but
I'm
yes,
not
okay.
in a rush. I have Calvin and Hobbes books to read. I got my Sweetwater catalog. There's not a whole lot I really need to rush. Until I feel a strange sensation on my butthole.
Uh-oh.
And when I say strange, I mean foreign. And I hadn't completed the cleaning process yet.
All right.
So I just hop up off the toilet because it freaked me out. I thought, there's a snake in here.
Yeah,
I'm
right.
fucking done. I don't want it to bite my butthole or my balls.
Right.
And so I get up and I inspect. Of course, there's just what should be there. And I go back. I'm like, okay, I guess that was just me. I don't know. That was weird. So I go back to place my tush on the throne. And I'm getting ready to finish up, and it returns. So I immediately just like start taking care of business down there, and it goes away. But it was certainly something. So I get up again. There was a goddamn fly in the toilet bowl when I went to sit down, flew on my poo-encrusted butthole, and got stuck.
Oh, my God. Well, it's got to be better you discovering that than having to go in and get the assistance of your grandmother, right?
Grandma, something funny's happening. Which, by the way, Kevin, did you know the skin around your lips is the same around your asshole?
It is. I've been spreading that rumor for years.
Perfect.
None of it's true, but it's
The greatest social experiment ever known to man begins now.
You ever take like a round down range and it hits you right square in the beehole? Do know that they can graft your mouth down to your anus.
God damn it. Ooh, shit. That's the brevity I have to bring. And welcome back to everybody that didn't want to hear about my poo.
Yeah. Well, it wasn't as bad as I thought.
Well, I could have been a little.
Never know about
I
this
didn't
guy.
want to be descriptive about my shits.
Yeah. No, I was hopeful you weren't going to.
No, no. I've only had, this is like my second beer, man.
Okay. It is Mead, Metal, and MMA podcast talking about the Mead this time around. And we do have news, Longship's batch. It hasn't been birthed into existence yet, but it will be within 20 minutes after this show is over. We already have, I pasteurized the honey yesterday. Got that task done. 5 gallons of goodness that will pare down we'll have to pull about a half a gallon out of that, because then after it's gone through primary fermentation, I want to rack it at least one time to another into secondary, maybe a carboy, I don't know, and then let it kind of chill there for at least a couple of weeks so I can determine if we need to clarify it or not. And if it's good to go, then we're going to go ahead and get it straight into this wooden barrel that we've got.
Yes. Looking forward to that.
The good news on that is, fucking thing finally cured. I mean, I was getting a little concerned, but there was no evidence of water leaking, or because I've got an acidic blend in there right now to keep like anaerobic fungal components from trying to get in there and things like that. It's basically a citric blend, but it is a triacid. Keeping any of that shit out of there because it's completely full right now of acid water.
Yeah. Well, it's not like we can use vinegar.
Yeah,
because we do plan on.
Well, that's the problem. Is like, well, we could. It would take care of any of that shit, but the problem is that flavor would carry over.
Oh, yeah.
Whereas the acid blend is not going to carry over at all.
Right.
But so that means that probably about 3 to 4 weeks in a primary, probably 2 weeks into secondary, and then we're going to rack it over into the barrel. I'm estimating we're going to be sipping mead from a wooden barrel probably by the second week of June.
That sounds fun. That sounds right.
Well, and then, one of our supporters, one of my coworkers, he had said, he said, well, how do I go about getting my hands on it? Well, you can't. It's not that you come here. You come here. Yep. That's what you do.
And it's not to be a dick.
No.
Long Ships is one of our favorite batches here.
There will be no Long Ships sold by the bottle. But if you want some, you can. You just have to come by. And, we're just asking people, if you come by and you're going to pull a glass or 2 or 4 or 5, throw us a little $5,
Yeah. We're not going to do bar shit here. It's like, oh, you want another one? $3, bitch.
No. It's just because then it goes against our donation framework anyway. Come over, throw us a donation of $5, drink all the mead you fucking want,
Yeah.
Unless you're Ruben, then you're going to be stuck to having no more than about a half a gallon.
Well, yeah, see, then it's the Ruben Gonzalez rule, and your ass is paying 10. Because we know your appetites cannot be slaked.
You and that guy, the two of you fucks get on a roll. There was one night, there were 3 bottles of mead that were consumed.
Ruben inspires me.
Man, I got up and went, what the fuck are all these bottles? Because I went to bed like a sane person.
And it was in the span of about 3 hours.
It was not long. It was not long.
And it was all his idea. Of course, I'd say that.
That shit doesn't fly.
The second one was mine.
That doesn't fly with me too much. It's both of you motherfuckers. Both of you.
No, he fucking told me to do it or he's going to beat me up. And I said, yes, sir.
Yeah. I bet. But what it's going to be, so if you want Long Ships straight out of an oaked barrel, which has always been the vision anyway, yeah, you'll have to get over here.
And this will be Long Ships as true as we can provide it.
I can't think of a way I can make it more, outside of putting it on a goddamn sailing vessel and putting it out there in the North Sea and let it fucking roll around for a couple of months. That's the only other way.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know, man. It's just a fucking thing of beauty, that barrel. I'm glad it all finally cured up, especially now with the weather kind of bouncing out at 100 degrees.
Once it warmed up, that was the biggest opponent I had, was because we'd have a warm day, started looking all right, and then we'd fucking snap down to 28 degrees at night, and it's not that I don't run my furnace, but I don't want to run that goddamn thing nonstop when it's,
right. Sure.
And that barrel sitting out here where it gets a little cooler, where we kind of keep the mead at, and it would have me concerned, because about the time I would think that it's like, okay, well, the curing process has staunched any of the leaks we have. No. Then we'd have a cold night and right back at it again, a puddle of acid water sitting around underneath of it again the next day. And like, God damn it. Okay, well, now that it's warm pretty much all the time. Nope. No, I haven't seen a leak out of that thing in about a week now.
Right. And, for those of you that have had our mead chilled and almost prefer it that way, it's just because it's going to be out and about doesn't mean it's going to be the room, like 5-10 degrees above room temperature.
No, it'll be at room temperature.
Yeah, it'll be perfect.
Those of you that come over that are wanting that prefer it with a little bit of a chill, and I'm one of those cats sometimes. It depends on how the mood takes me, but I do have a carafe that I can drain it in, put it in the fridge for a little bit. It's fine.
Oh yeah, see it'll
all work.
We support all flavors.
Troublemaker is it's looking fucking wonderful, and it's probably that one's ready to go. Probably when we deem it's ready to go.
Yeah,
It's been a while since we've had 10 gallons of mead going in this place at one time.
Right. I don't know, man. I mean, what are you thinking for Troublemaker for like a bottling date? Are we wanting to get another rack done?
Here's what I would like to do. I'd like to actually be able to get the labels done for fucking Holly King.
That'd be great.
But we gotta wait till the print shops are allowed to operate again. I might run over to Texas. That's what I might do, because they're back to normal.
Yeah,
mostly. Well, they've given it over to local control. Counties are kind of, if it's fucking bad, they're still kind of shutting things down. That's the way it probably should.
That's how it should always have been from the fucking start.
Navajo Nation is getting ravaged by this shit. Over here until a couple of days ago, we'd only had one case that had recovered since this all started. But yet we're under the same lockdown that the Navajo Nation's on.
Right. And we're up to what now? 3?
We're up to 3 or 4.
4 if you counted the one that recovered that wasn't really in the county to begin with.
This is the weirdest accounting I've ever seen. I was talking to a coworker about that shit today. It's like, wait a minute. So when that one guy, we'd had the one case, it's like, so how long does it take to shake this shit? Because they'd announced that 4 weeks ago. Turns out, oh, he's already recovered. He's already back to work. He was in the Air Force. He's good to go. He's been fine for weeks. It's like, well, then how come they have us listed with a case? Like, oh, well, we count him also as recovered. But why are you still carrying that as an active? This is the weirdest thing I have ever seen, because it does not matter. If you test positive, there is no way you'll ever shake the fact that you had tested positive.
God, it's like being a felon.
Kind of. Yeah,
it's a black mark.
Except for
it's
the
a
fact
scarlet
that
letter.
You can't get the World Health Organization or the CDC to write a little letter saying, no, we'll go ahead and expunge that from your record.
Can you please? I didn't mean to have coronavirus.
Man, I don't know why they continue to count recovered cases as active cases.
You can still have a running total of total cases you've seen, but not make that your fucking actual number.
But that's what they're saying, is they're saying, 4 cases in Roosevelt County. Well, yeah, but we already know one of those is already fine.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's a pain in the ass, but no. So I think that's sufficient for the meat update. We got Troublemaker that's probably going to be rated a bottle. That would be the case, is that once I can reopen the print shops, get the Holly King labels done, of which I can really kick myself, because I was going to go down and get that shit done. I thought, I'll do it tomorrow. That's when the lockdown order came.
God damn
it. And the print shop hadn't opened since. So whenever that gets back to normal, we'll get those labels done, get those done and out to everybody. That is it's an official reserve batch. So, I mean, we didn't actually bottle until it was already at the 1-year point. So it is a reserve. We'll get the labels put on that. I can probably then get the order put in for more bottles coming in for the Troublemaker, get those bottled up, get labels made, get them put on. So I'd like to tweak the label again. Troublemaker's one I feel a little bit of a artistic license to keep changing it a little bit every once in a while.
Right. Well, the last one you added the crowns.
Right.
And the one constant has always been Ragnar, the almost unofficial sponsor.
Sure.
Not sponsor,
mascot
yeah. of our little thing here. And that one, you drew another one because it's not like Ragnar in war mode. It's Ragnar finding treasure.
Well, because it was a callback to the cobalt that we used to use. So.
Right. I always dug that so much.
Yeah. So, but we'll get those bottled up. I'm hoping within a month. I'd like to think by Memorial Day weekend, maybe. We'll see. Yeah, because right behind that, then that's when we're moving the long ships over to the barrel. So we got busy times ahead, but it's
good. I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah. And then that means also then by early July, that means we need to start another batch, because we'll need to be getting Green Man lined up for September.
God damn. See, the wheel never stops.
It shouldn't,
No.
The reason it does is when we start getting too much inventory. And if we haven't moved shit, then I'm not doing a Green Man batch this year.
Right.
But anyway, that's the meat update for this week. We got some good shit going on in metal. This is one of the heaviest Fridays I've had. Happiest Fridays, I should say. Well, not terribly unheavy, but one of the happier Fridays I've had in a while, because the new releases this week, there are 2 of them that are fucking great. But I don't want to steal all of LJ's thunder. So.
No. Why don't we hear what LJ has to say about the week, and then we'll come in with our own little ideas.
All right. We'll get the lowdown with lowdown. LJ's other name. Lowdown on new releases on metal for this week.
Welcome back to the metal portion of the Mead, Metal, and MMA podcast. I'm your host, LJ, and let's get this metal thing started. So just so you guys know, this is recorded on Wednesday night going into Thursday morning. It's midnight, so anyways, if you hear me mess up a lot, it's because I haven't gotten any sleep because I've been listening to metal all night and stuff like that. So let's get on with these metal releases. That'll be coming out on the 24th. That's on Friday. So by the time you hear this podcast, yeah, go buy yourself some metal. All right, first up, we got Acherontas, Acherontas. I'm probably not pronouncing that right. The album is called Psychic Death, The Shattering of Perceptions. Now, quite possibly the most extreme of black metal. Unlike the black metal band of last week's podcast, which I cannot remember the name of, this band has a little bit of variety, and I mean that quite literally. The rest is all blast beats and screaming, but they have a little variety. Once you've heard one black metal band, you've heard them all, until you get to Acherontas, that is. Next up, Trick or Treat. The album is called The Legend of the 12 Saints, and 12 being spelled XII, Roman numerals. When I saw the teaser for the album, I was confused as shit because I didn't know if it was an advertisement for a band, a video game, a toy line based on a fantasy franchise I missed, or what. But judging by their general sound, they play power metal and really heroic sounding guitars, so please humor them and go check out their album so they can eat. Next up we have Mantric, False Negative. This band has me vibing because they do like heavy metal, but then break into live and alternative metal. For those of you who don't know what alternative metal is, I don't either. Apparently it's metal, but not heavy. Like the antithesis of heavy metal, but still likable. Let's call it bank metal because it's made to be commercial. Commercial ain't a bad thing, it's just unexpected. Also, King Diamond, Abigail and Fatal Portrait re-release. For you King Diamond fans out there comes a re-release of their old albums Abigail and Fatal Portrait. As a side note, if you haven't heard it, I highly recommend the King Diamond album, Them. It's fucking amazing. Trust me. I'm a metal expert. I know my shit. What is the name of a metal expert anyways? Fuck it, I'll think of it later. It's like a metalologist or what. Wait. All right, next band is called The Used. The album is called Heartwork. All one word. Heartwork. Now this band right off the bat reminds me of the stuff you hear on the radio. It's not metal, so I have no idea why it's on this list, so I apologize. But it ain't a hard listen unless you cannot stomach soft stuff. If you're up for a Weird Al on par with Tool's music video for Prison Sex, the video for Cathedral Bells will definitely trip you out. Next, the band Dark Forest. Oak, Ash, and Thorn is the name of the album. Starting off with a medieval tone and then moving into Celtic territory before a full-blown Megadeth meets Iron Maiden situation. That's pretty much how it happens, and it's an impressive listen to say the least. So, cool band name, alright. Next up, we've got Helfro with their self-titled album. Helfro, Helfro. They must be German or something Swedish. Now, I want to clarify. There are things I love about this segment. For example, listening to new bands I otherwise would never discover on my own. And getting to be on the podcast every week. But there are also things I do not like, and one of them is discovering black metal bands because I find them boring as fucking balls. I would much rather listen to my neighbor's dog bark 72 hours straight. I'd rather be on an airplane for 2 days with a crying baby. Anyways, Helfro is a black metal band that doesn't suck, thankfully. But they do have that same boring breakbeat bullshit, so if you're into that, go get yourself Helfro's new self-titled album and shut the fuck up. And finally, topping off our list, the band is called Elder. The album is called Omens. Omens. Badass band name, and I am impressed with what I hear. It's straightforward 70s sounding metal with modern instruments, distortion, the works, man. It's like Black Sabbath if they, updated their shit and didn't stay in this rotting ass studio for 40 years. It's kind of full circle if you ask me, because I like how these bands are bringing this stuff to the modern day. That's really fucking cool. Unless these are old musicians and they just formed a new band. I don't know who Elder is, but it sounds really fucking cryptic and cool and medieval and shit. So that is your metal update for this week. 4/24/2020. I hope you guys are having some sort of fun during this pandemic period. I know it sucks, man. There's no concerts or anything like that. I can't give you any concert dates, which was what I was incorporating into my segment. But never fear. There are a lot of bands broadcasting free shows over the internet that you can pick up. All you gotta do is just Google it, or whatever you use as your search engine. I don't know. I use Google because I'm old. So that's it for your metal podcast this week. Take it away, Kevin and Brandon.
And as always, never mailing it in. Always providing it.
Do you think he's going to be bummed out that I trim my beard down?
I don't know. He did have a vested interest in my beard. I don't know.
You know. I mean, I want to break his heart.
I mean, when I shaved it off last year because fuck heat, you know.
No shit. That's why I did mine.
Yeah, nope. Got rid of mine last year. The only person that seemed to have an issue. Not one female. It was LJ.
Women will never have an issue.
I don't think so.
They want you smooth.
It doesn't. Well, some don't. It doesn't matter. I mean, I'm not really keeping it or getting rid of it over lady folk.
Sure,
but it was.
You got to make the choice yourself.
A little unsettling to have another man tell you like, "Oh, dude,
brother, man, my beard, my favorite beard."
Shit.
It's good to know people care.
Now the one thing is on the new releases for the week. We actually got to check out the Trivium. They'd had 2 releases. They put out 2 singles prior to today when they dropped their new record. Here's one that just kind of caught me out of left field, and that is, and that's the one that actually you'd heard us lead in with, and that is Elder putting out that new release today, Omens. Man, every time that Elder puts out a record nowadays, it's always going to blow my mind because they're not going to do the same thing. This might be the proggiest I've ever heard Elder.
Yeah.
I mean, it sounds like straight up old school, yes, some at times.
Well, it seems like because their last big release was Reflections of a Floating World, right? And then they put out that Gold and Silver Sessions. That was 3 songs.
Right.
About a half-hour EP, but still just 3 songs. Omens is kind of the same.
I don't know how many tracks are on it because I've
5.
just been playing it all day. Well, it's 55 minutes, so if that tells you anything there.
Well, then never mind. Then this is a full-length album, right?
Oh, yeah. Omens, it's full.
But it seems to be a blending of Reflections of the Floating World and the Gold and Silver Session. They did a lot of different shit in that.
Yeah.
Primarily acoustic.
Yeah, I mean, I used to really appreciate those guys because they weren't exactly doom, but they were kind of right up to the border of being doom metal. Man, They are not that now. They are a very different band.
Golly.
So
been around for 14 years.
So happy about Trivium, happy about Elder. It's a good day.
It is. I've enjoyed everything I've heard from Trivium so far. After quite the abstention of enjoying their music, because they weren't my bag.
Yeah, no, they didn't used to be mine either.
Out, I was like, ugh, God, just go do your thing. I'll just listen to the Ascendancy whenever I need to get my fix. The new Trivium album is pretty significant. I'm just happy to hear Matt Heafy being able to kind of balance the clean vocals with the harsh vocals now.
Yeah.
Because he couldn't do the harsh vocals for a long time because he had a throat issue.
Yeah.
I think it was like polyps or something.
But we got back to Beefy Heafy, and it's...
Beefy Heafy. That ain't bad. I don't know if we might need to go. Like, hey, man, you make a T-shirt that says Beefy Heafy? I'll buy one. It better make you look like a big veiny cock, though.
You got a Heafy Light and Beefy Heafy.
Oh, man. What the Dead Men Say is the name of the new one. Fairly active in the past 5 years. Silence in the Snow 2015, Sin in the Sentence 2017, What Dead Men Say 2020. That is fucking activity.
Which is great. Man, because you remember way back when your favorite band would crank out a new record about every year and a half, 2 years tops. You know, nowadays, shit, it might be 4 years, 3 or 4 years. A lot of the acts that we follow around here,
Yeah.
ranging all the way others, take more like 14 years. But yeah.
Yeah, sometimes it's more than a decade. Like you have a better chance of saying goodbye to a loved one because they're dying,
Right.
than hearing like a new Metallica album now.
God, do you think we're going to get one more out of those guys?
This is not going to be a popular thing. I don't want another one.
Yeah, Hardwired was pretty goddamn.
Why not go out hard?
That
and
is
then
gonna
clearly,
if that's going to be your fucking penultimate record, or actually your final, that's the way to do it.
right? And then clearly, like Hetfield had some issues that he had to deal with. When is it okay to say I don't want to do this anymore and not piss people off? When is that okay?
I guess it's really up to the fans, right?
Which it should never be.
Yeah.
You can be disappointed. You can be bummed out for sure, but you shouldn't fucking take it personally
right.
because you have nothing to do with it. Fans feel like they have creative input and all this other bullshit because they buy an album.
Well, and they're empowered by the act itself usually because the band's like, hey, younger.
It would be nothing without our fans, bro.
Younger bands always, put it out there. It's like, we're really just doing it for our fans. Well, it empowers them. Then your fan base, they start to feel a little more important than they actually are. You know,
right. And like going back to Trivium, these fuckers, the longest span of time in between albums was 3 years, ever. From 2003 to 2020, they put out 9 albums. So that's like 17 years. That's about an album every 2 years.
Yeah,
that's a pretty good clip.
Well, and I hate to say it, maybe it's the old school side. I mean, I appreciate that, and that's the way I think it probably should be.
Yeah, I agree.
What do you got for this week? Oh, by the way, Danny Carey talking about bands take forever to crank out a record nowadays. But Danny Carey, was stuck at home for the drummer of Tool with all the self-quarantining and all this other shit, saying it'd be great if we could just bang out an EP.
Well, like I said last week, Danny Carey's always the optimist of Tool. And rightfully so.
I certainly wouldn't hold my breath, but
you don't really hear a lot of Adam Jones interviews or Justin Chancellor interviews or Maynard interviews for that matter.
It is funny, though, because like when people do that whole big, huge VIP thing and everything else and throw like $1,000 at Tool, guaranteed to meet a member of the band, you know who it is. It's going to be Danny Carey. Right. I mean, or maybe Justin Chancellor, maybe. But it is certainly not going to be Adam Jones, and it's definitely not going to be Maynard.
Evanescence put out a new song
today.
Yeah,
I'd have to
found out about that.
give a listen because they that means they've got to have one coming out pretty soon, right?
They actually just announced it. They put out I can't remember when the last one came out because I followed Evanescence super hard, and I was like, I just really care about Amy Lee. I'm just going to follow her, see what she's up to.
Yeah, well,
but this one's called The Bitter End. No release date for obvious reasons. But put out a song today called Wasted on You.
I have a funny feeling it's probably going to start slow and be kind of symphonic and then build, but yet be in a minor key. I don't want to say all their stuff sounds the same.
Metal Injection has it classified as a solid classic-style power ballad with lyrics which seem to take on new meaning in our current situation.
Yeah, okay.
So I'm like, this song was probably written about a year and a half ago, so that's coincidence. Do not use the coronavirus to sell music.
Right.
They're already using it to sell beer and metal. Metal's okay. You can have a band called COVID-19, and that'll be really funny for about 6 months.
Yeah.
But then, what are you going to do after that?
Change your name.
To fuck stick phenomenon?
Right.
Actually, I'm going to hold on to that one. That's pretty good. So, yeah, we'll have to listen to that. I'm always curious to hear what this is like first new Evanescence since 2011.
Oh, wow. Huh?
Almost a decade.
Right.
Damn.
Well, I guess if we're trying to find some positives, apparently a lot of bands out there then, since they're not touring, they're not doing anything else, so might as well write, yeah?
I guess. Yeah. What better? Well, shit, you could be like Yari Menapa, who has a Patreon now. Winter Sun has a Patreon now.
Well, they have
so
a lot
now you can pay every month for nothing.
Yeah, they got a lot of dumb fans. That ought to work for them.
Oh, my God,
that ought to work for them pretty well.
Honestly, Yari Menapa is like fucking Donald Trump for Finnish metal. Whatever the explanation he gives for everything, why he's doing everything that he's been doing, they just fucking eat it up.
Yeah.
They just gobble it right down and no questions at all. Because why question Yari Menapa, the fucking man in his infinite brilliance? Fuck that shit, man. It's even more painfully obvious now than when they did the Kickstarter for the album.
Oh yeah, no, he's purely in it for the money.
You know what you get? You know what they put out on Patreon for the subscribers for like their first real perk?
No idea.
It was a bass play-along for Land of Snow and Sorrow.
Oh, how fun.
You know how many of those are on YouTube? Probably done by people that have done it just as good.
Yeah.
Loads.
Sure.
Lots, especially for that song.
It's funny because I never know what they're doing because I've been pretty much I was blocked. They went to their little Kickstarter thing, unblocked me. I fucking made one comment and I was blocked again.
You know, it's funny. You need to try to get unblocked and see if it can happen again now that they're actually addressing, well, Yari is. Yari's the only one. The rest of the guys I don't hold anything against. Yari Menopause is a fucking asshole in this whole thing.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I can remember back when he got fired from Insafirum because he was trying to do Winter Sun shit at the same time. That guy used to be able to do two things at one time. Now he can't even do a fucking single thing at a time.
Motherfucker, you know there are people putting out better music with less shit.
In a very short amount of time without their own studio. I mean, this guy has everything he needs, but yet they still put nothing out. And they've got enough of a fucking weird Stockholm syndrome going on with their fans to where the fans are like, yes, yeah, keep doing what you're doing. It's like, bro, they aren't doing anything. Outside of like sticking their goddamn hand out like they're Bernie Sanders.
Yeah,
I'm here again for more of your money.
What have you gotten? What have you gotten? And even like the live shit. Guess what? You got Yari playing the role of fucking Mick Jagger or Steven Tyler. That dude ain't playing guitar.
No, he said that years ago. It's like, nope, live shows, I'm not playing guitar anymore because I'm too important. So.
And how am I supposed to look cool with my wind machine? It sucks.
I will now here, and here's the funny thing. I'll still wear a T-shirt out of irony, and I will still listen to the first album, and I will still listen to most of Time One.
Yeah.
Not all of it, but most
I'll
of it.
listen to the first half of Time One for sure.
Yeah. It turns kind of south a little bit about midway through, and picks up again at the end. But
we have to be honest with Time now. Is it as good as we recall it being when it initially came out?
Yeah, man, that's the best metal album lead-in I've ever heard.
Oh, sure, yeah. But you can't make an album, like the entire album, great just off an intro.
Right. It's still good. I'm not huge on the second track, the one that leads in after that opening track. The third track, if I recall, was actually really, really good.
I was going to say, when does Land of Snow and Sorrow fall?
That's the third or fourth one, right?
Yeah, I was going to say second. It's not second, third or fourth. Right?
Yeah, it's not a bad record. I am a fan of that band. The problem is they're not that band anymore. And I realize the same people are still in it. The same shitbird is still fucking calling all the shots and everything else.
Right.
But the evolution of the ego of Yari Menopause, I'm done, man.
It's so fucking disgusting.
So I will always refer to them kind of in the past tense because
Yeah.
I'm done. I'm done. Because they're never going to put out Time 2, by the way. I don't know what they're working on. I did listen to the Four Seasons, or tried to. It's not the same band.
I have avoided Four Seasons the same way I avoid Volbeat music. And that's with fiery passion.
Sure.
I heard the one song of Four Seasons. I have not heard anything else. Because every time I bring it up, you certainly don't provide the optimism that I'm going to fucking have a jam.
It's not.
You tell me not to do it.
Yeah. Well, I think you safely can, because it's not like you're going to come off of it with a worse opinion.
But why?
Of the band.
My opinion is already so low. I feel like it's a waste of time.
Well, there's that.
Play on words
go.
there.
Yep.
Pun intended, cocksuckers. Quick rundown of I'm not going to read these stories. I'll just read out some headlines for you. Let's see. Eddie Van Halen once pulled a gun on Fred Durst. God. I'd read this story before I came over here, so I don't have to pull it up to read it verbatim. Basically, after Wes Borland left Limp Bizkit back in 2000, I think, they were having this jam sesh, and Eddie Van Halen became a part of it, almost as a joke.
Yeah.
Why don't we have the best guitar player in the world play with the
Limp
shittiest
Bizkit.
band in the world? And Eddie Van Halen was like, fuck it, why not? Why not? Why shouldn't we do that? So they do it, and as soon as someone started smoking weed, Eddie Van Halen was out. So he kind of left, leaving all his shit at this place, which I guess was Fred Durst's house. Next day, he tries to get a hold of Fred Durst, like, hey, I'm coming by today to get my shit. Never gets a reply. So apparently, and this is in an Eddie Van Halen book, he has this I can't remember the exact name, but it's a fucking vehicle with a weapon on it, and it's a gun. It's an assault vehicle. He bought an assault vehicle from a military auction.
Okay.
So he went. This is the only part I'll go verbatim. It has a shine gun mount on the back and is not legal. Eddie drove that assault vehicle through L.A. into Beverly Hills, then parked and left it running on the front lawn of the house Limp Bizkit was rehearsing in. He got out wearing no shirt, his hair in a samurai bun on top of his head, his jeans held up with a strand of rope, and combat boots held together by duct tape. Oh, and he had a gun in his hand.
There you go.
And long story short, it knocks on the door. Fred Durst answers, and he apparently points the gun at his head and he says he wants his shit right now. Guess he got it and he left. But if that fucking story was ever true,
and that's all from Eddie Van Halen, right?
This is all from Eddie Van Halen's point.
I would like Fred Durst's viewpoint of that one because I'm about 100% sure that fucking most of that didn't actually happen.
That's fucking assault.
Yeah.
At the bare minimum, that's assault.
Yeah, no, Eddie Van Halen. Well, first of all, you can't drive an illegal fucking vehicle like that in L.A., really? Try to drive with a brake light out in L.A. I mean,
what is a shine gun mount? I don't know what that means.
It's got to be a police, like a suppressive weapon.
Okay.
But still. So I already had a problem immediately with that. Secondly, is Eddie Van Halen going to come out in public dressed the way that you described?
I highly doubt it. Not even. He fucking buried a guitar with Dimebag. I don't think this guy is that.
No.
He's not going to be bringing the good shit to a house party with Limp Bizkit.
I'm not buying most of that.
No ICP, Gathering of the Juggalos this week.
Well, I guess crime rate will go down.
Yeah, well, and maybe
What are they going to do with all that heroin?
It's funny that the guy from ICP, the lead singer of Smash Mouth, and Guy Fieri, they might be the same guy.
They might be the same guy, and if not, they might actually be triplets that were separated at birth.
You never see them in the same place together. Trapped is challenging Ice-T to a bare-knuckle fight. Trapped is apparently the new troll. Everybody hates Trapped. They had one song called Headstrong. That's enough for you to know you're not going to like it.
I'm out.
But everybody calls him out on it now. So all they do is just fucking troll until they started picking on body count. And Ice-T's like, I'll see you in the streets, motherfucker. And that is one guy. I know he's an actor now. Wife's a fucking porn star. I wouldn't want to fuck with Ice-T at all.
No.
Fuck you, man. And you're just the lead singer of some shit band that had a hit that is a piece of shit. I don't know. They're just better people to pick a fight with. Why not Courtney Love?
Yeah. Well, I think there's a problem. They're trying to pick a fight with a female, right? But legitimately, I'd rather cross paths with fucking what's his name, 50 Cent.
Oh,
way rather over Ice-T. Ice-T probably has killed people. 50 Cent will tell you he probably has, and he's not.
I've always assumed like Ice Cube has beaten the shit out of a lot of people.
Ice Cube, yeah.
Ice-T has killed people.
Oh yeah.
I just can't see him not doing it. You don't have that air about you. I'm not a fucking rap fan, but I feel like I have a pretty good judgment of which ones are legit and which ones are just fucking trying to make a buck.
Right.
Like that one with the Skittles teeth that's in like prison or something.
Yeah, are we good? Because I don't want to run us out of time because we have got a shitload to talk about with the MMA side, which brings me glee that I can't.
Outside of the Morbid Angel guitarist getting arrested for a DUI and telling cops it's okay, I'm a professional drinker.
There you go.
That's about it.
I think cops appreciate that, right?
It's worked every time with me.
Got to throw a dog out, but
I heard Cat Kumite going on out there.
3 fight cards in the span of a week.
7 fucking days. May 9th, May 13th, and May 16th. The UFC has to fucking fulfill that contract. That contract, I can't remember how many more dates they have, live events they have to put in 2020 to fulfill their contract. But I can't remember last time we had a Wednesday fight card. They were just starting on Fox, I think.
Oh, wow. Well, I was going to say Spike, but yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, Spike, I think that's like an offshoot of Fox, right?
Spike TV? No, I'm talking about like back in the old days when they would, just odd. It's like, wow, why are they putting on a fight card here? It's a weekday.
Yeah, because Spike had the Ultimate Fighter.
Yeah.
They had that before it moved to FX, and now it's on
would-
ES, or it's not nowhere now.
I legitimately think that Fox, I think even on Fox, I don't think they had, I mean, they'd have the occasional Sunday night card if it was right before a national holiday. That's about it, man. I don't recall them ever doing one between a Monday and a Thursday.
It's been fucking forever. It's Saturday or Sunday,
Well,
depending
Friday
on where it's
if
at.
it's the Ultimate Fighter Championship, but you know.
Well, shit. Last Ultimate Fighter we had, I attended the goddamn finale. We have not had an Ultimate Fighter show
It's
since.
true. They don't even do Ultimate Fighter anymore, do they?
It's ever since they started doing that Dana White Contender Series.
Which actually,
I think it's better. I don't
Yeah.
need all the reality show buzz.
that's exactly right, and that's the biggest thing with the Ultimate Fighter. It started to be like, oh, here's this intrigue. Oh, these assholes don't like each other. See a little brush up they had in the kitchen. Get the fuck out of here. You know what I want to see?
Yeah.
I want to see them walking in, getting into an octagon, and fighting each other. That's what I want to see.
The only thing that makes that even remotely enjoyable is it's real. You know those guys are not going to be like, yeah, just get out there and tussle a little bit.
Yeah.
There are fucking people that just go out there and want to fucking battle. I saw a
Yeah.
guy get knocked the fuck out because he was asking for it because he was drunk.
Sure. But I will also say there are those that stoke the fires of that shit, but it's been a long time. I mean,
Sure.
the one that comes to my mind is always fucking Josh Koscheck, but that's been forever.
Fuck that.
But I mean, but I don't want that element and the bleed over of reality TV into a fucking Ultimate Fighter.
No.
So yeah, Dana White Contender Series, hell yeah. Let's bring that shit back. Come on.
It's been a while. Well, now we got the ability because May 9th, we're getting 249.
UFC 249 on that date, and then what? A fight card on what, the Tuesday or Wednesday, and then another one
May
on
13th.
Saturday.
Which that one is the May 13th card is going to be headlined by Anthony Smith and Glover Teixeira at light heavyweight.
Well, God, man. You know, and they are putting together. Here's the nice thing. Granted, we had to suffer for a while. The shit they're putting together is going to be nothing short of fucking amazing for 3 straight cards.
Right. But here's the thing to also think about. They poop out cards all the time. The biggest break you'll get is 1 week. Maybe 2 if it's a huge-ass pay-per-view and it's the end of the year. This 249 card is fucking amazing.
It's
the
better
loss,
than the original 249, man.
Even with the loss, well, outside of the fact we're not getting Khabib and Tony, that's about the biggest loss. But even losing Amanda Nunes and Felicia Spencer for the featherweight belt, this is still a stacked card. I don't want to talk about each fight, but this is the fight card as it stands. Ryan Spann fighting Sam Alvey, that's opening up the show at light heavyweight. Bryce Mitchell and Charles Rosa at featherweight. Vincente Luke and Nico Price at welterweight. Then your prelims.
Man, that's
here's
gonna
where
be
it gets.
good. Nico and fucking
Nico Price, man, that's a goddamn buzzsaw right there.
And Luke has just been unstoppable, man.
And you tell me if the prelims that kick off at fucking 4 o'clock. Yeah, no, 6 o'clock. Okay, it was like Mountain Time. I was like, wait, 4 o'clock? Fuck that. This sounds like a goddamn Saturday main card that's not on pay-per-view. Uriah Hall fighting Jacare at middleweight. That'll be a great fight.
Oh, yeah.
Because Uriah Hall looked like he was finally starting to turn the corner again.
You never know that guy, though.
Yeah.
You never know.
Last one was good. He looked good. I got to see if he can keep it up. Carlos Esparza fighting Michelle Watterson. That should be all right.
It'll be okay.
Oleksiy Olenek fighting Fabricio Verdum. A returning Verdum. First
Fucking
fight
heavyweight
back.
fight. Heavyweight.
One of
Heavyweight
many.
fight among
One of
2
many.
dudes that love to get their hands on each other and grapple.
Yeah. And your fucking main event for your prelims, fucking Donald Cerrone and Anthony Pettis part 2.
Yeah.
That's going to be fun. It'll be good to see Cowboy back. It's at 170 still, so that guy needs to get a win. Bad.
I hate that the promotion. It feels like to me the promotion keeps kicking him up to 170, even though he said he wants to fight at 155. Somebody's lying somewhere.
Right. The promotion, you're going to fight where they want you to fight.
Yeah.
Either that or you're not going to fight.
Right. And he's had no issues cutting to 155. I just think the 155 division, maybe the promotion feels like the competition at 170 with where he's at in the fights they would make might benefit his longevity better than 155.
Maybe. He looked good at 170, like the first 4 fights. He was looking fucking on fire.
Yeah.
And then he just gets his ass beat by people fucking coming up to fight for belts.
Right.
The RDA fight.
That was a 155.
That was a 155, but it's always seemed to be the case with Cowboy. It's like, man, you get all the way up there and you get your ass beat.
I think he's a definite gatekeeper for the top 6 or 7. Probably.
I hate that for him. I know he can do it. He can fucking do it.
And it goes back. His biggest problem is that he's a slow starter.
Yep.
I mean, we've pointed that out so goddamn time.
Even he's pointed it out.
Yeah.
You know, he knows. Yeah, he's let people know. The main card, the opener is a little weird. Greg Hardy and Jorgen De Castro at heavyweight. Why are they putting so much behind Greg Hardy?
Because they think he's marketable because he was an NFL player.
Well, Brock Lesnar was marketable.
Yeah.
There is no fucking football personality unless you're getting Tom Brady in there to fight.
Right.
Or you're getting somebody like that with a name. Greg Hardy has a name because he beat up women.
Well, that's the other thing, too. And it's because I think that, I hate to say it, but I think the UFC is capitalizing off the fact that they provide a guy that over half the people are going to hate.
Right. Yeah, but it's not, there's good hate and there's bad hate.
Yeah.
It's like, I hate that guy, so I'm going to tune in to watch him get his ass beat. And then there's Greg Hardy. It's like, I don't fucking care.
Well, you got some people that want to see him get his ass kicked.
Yeah, put him up against fucking Derek Lewis.
Yeah, well, that's a problem.
Derek Lewis has made a career out of beating up wife beaters.
Yeah, that's true.
After that, you got Jeremy Stevens, Calvin Kattar fighting at featherweight. That should be fun.
It'd be good.
Francis Ngannou fighting Jarinho Rozenstruik.
Yeah, that's the one. That's the one people have been really, really wanting to see, is because both those dudes can lay a motherfucker out.
They were arguing to make that, or the two fighters were to make that belt for the make that fight for the interim heavyweight belt, because Stipe seems to be just fine being a champ and not fighting.
As every champ in the entire UFC is,
especially
really
at heavyweight, dude.
Yeah,
I don't know, man. I feel like Alexander Volkanovski would be getting work done if shit was a little normal.
yeah.
I probably would have seen a rematch by now.
I'm going to reserve judgment on that shit just because the goddamn coronavirus thing. You never know.
Right.
I mean, I can't really bust Stipe's balls because where's he supposed to fight? You know?
Yeah, but it's just like, I'm going to go get eye surgery, you guys. Seeming like, well, if you don't tell me that there's a fight that I need to get ready for and give me a location, I'm going to go get other shit done.
Yeah. Well, in the promotion, you know that they're itching to get a rematch for DC to make it a third.
Sure.
You know.
And your co-main won 2 title fights. Henry Cejudo defending that bantamweight belt against Dominic Cruz. I'm pulling for Dom.
I'm pulling for a bus to go down the street as both of them are walking in.
And give them all free sandwiches. God. And your main event, of course, Tony Ferguson, Justin Gaethje fighting for the lightweight interim belt. We seem to get a lot of interim lightweight title fights. A lot.
That's because your interim or your lightweight champ doesn't fight hardly.
And anytime there's a lightweight champ, that fucker ain't fighting. Conor won the belt, never defended it.
Yeah.
God, it's just
got to be something in the water at 155.
I guess, because they initially took away the 145 belt from Conor.
Yeah.
Leaving the 155.
Yeah, they're like, you can't hold 2 belts unless it's a guy we want to hold 2 belts.
or a woman that is gay and we can really push forth with her. Of course. I always need beer. But that is the card for 249. There isn't any other fights announced for the other 2. But
there's been a lot of speculation that I'm looking forward to.
If it's a fight card that has been announced that was supposed to be happening over the next 2 or 3 weeks, expect to see some of those fights in the coming weeks.
Yeah, man. It's just good to get the fucking UFC back and rolling again. And
I'll take it. It's going to be an empty goddamn arena. I don't give a shit. I don't care. If anything, I don't have to hear and all this other dumb shit.
Sure.
God,
I'm
there.
Yeah, and the other thing is too, and I'm going to embrace the rage. There are all these dicks out there that want to tell people what to do. Because again, it's that power thing I talked about earlier. Mm-hmm. Like, no, you can't have this. Why are we doing this? We need to stay home. We need to stay where it's safe. It's like, well, fucking maybe risk something once in a while, huh?
I feel like I'm risking it every day. I go out and try to do my job.
9 out of 10 countries I ever had to fucking get into as a Marine, I had to get fucking shots first. Yeah. I'm all right with this world being a little fucked up. I'm okay with it.
Well, most people are equipped for life to be a little fucked up. I think we're starting to learn that the ones that aren't equipped for it are the ones that are fucking pulling all the strings.
Saw some shit on fucking Facebook today, and I saw somebody had said, yeah, well, I think now the weather's getting nice. I'm going to go out and buy a bike and get some riding done, like try to lose some of these fucking pounds I've been putting on thanks to quarantine. And this asshole friend of mine, she goes, stay home. It's like, what? What do you? What the fuck is wrong with you? That's your only response to everything. You know, you can go ahead and live in fucking fear. I will go ahead and face life as we know it, virus or not, whatever. You know, and hey, if I die from the virus, hey, there's a perfectly good fucking irony for you. Enjoy that one all the way as you listen to the podcast later on down the road. You know, but in the meantime, if that's your sole thing and you're living around in fucking fear, see, man, I've seen fear in the eyes of America, and it's not a good fucking look.
No,
I've got a problem.
We can't hide it. It's known. You know when people are scared around here.
Yeah, so for the couple thousand people that have died out of the 335 million residents of this country, I feel bad for them and their families, but you cannot substantially change what makes you who the fuck you are out of fear.
Well, it's just like a family losing someone due to like a murder.
Yeah.
And you go and you go to the trial and the murderer is fucking guilty and we're gonna gas this motherfucker and he's gonna be gone. What are you left with? You're left with nothing. And then you want to change everything else for all other people so they don't have to go through it. Guess what, motherfucker? You don't need to worry about me.
It's this patronizing shit is what it is.
Yeah.
At the core, it's this patronizing bullshit from people that don't have power that want power. So don't give in to these fucks. You do you, man. You do what you do, that voodoo that you do so well.
And if you got fucking something to say about how I'm living my life, don't do it on Facebook because I don't listen to people on Facebook. If it's something that you can say on Facebook, come up and tell me over like a sandwich or something so I can tell you just how fucking dumb you are and I'm going to do what the fuck I want to do.
Somebody posts a meme and say, hey, this is funny. And then somebody like, stay home. What?
Humor was already dying. Let's not let the coronavirus fucking finish the job, dude.
God, man.
That'll never happen here.
Let's get the fucking picks, huh?
I'm drinking Budweiser.
Budweiser's the way to go.
Budweiser.
I don't even think I've got anything but Budweiser. Actually,
we got Budweiser and Bud Light.
Yeah, Budweiser clearly. I think I might have a tiny drop of rye left for my birthday, but I don't know.
Yeah, the weather might be decent enough for it.
Yeah. Let's see. On to the picks. That one's going to be fucking interesting. That I've had Elder Omens on all day. Omens. I'm not saying I enjoy the entire thing yet. But I know how my like of Elder works and it evolves.
Yeah. Oh, sure.
And then and before you know, it's like, God damn, what? This is one of the best bands out there. Why are more people listening to them? I understand why. It's because they're an acquired taste.
I had to listen to Reflections of a Floating World about 3 or 4 times.
Sure.
Beginning to front to end for about 4 weeks. Like every weekend, I'd put it on, listen to the whole thing. Into that 4th listen, I was like, I get it. I get it now, and this is fucking brilliant.
And Omens is going to be no different than that. So, I mean, I'm kind of torn between that and Trivium's new release, but
it's that opening track on Omens, which I believe is the title track, is amazing. That's one I heard over on Metal Injection.
Let's see, and then as far as fights go, we don't have any we can actually speculate on. What
do you think the odds are we get 249 on May 9th?
98%.
I like it. There's still a little
Florida, the governor in Florida, who everybody was busting his balls because he didn't shut down the beaches for fucking ever, you know. And
right.
So spring breakers, they would be packed beaches. I wasn't a huge fan of that because at some point it does cross a line of irresponsibility.
Well, it's like, go to the beach, but if you want to go get a beer afterwards, you're fucked.
Yeah.
You better have brought your own.
But, but Governor DeSantis was able to figure out a way to make it work for the WWE, and he's finding out a way to make it work for the UFC.
And that $80 million he got out of it didn't hurt either.
Well, there's that. And then by the time that they get those 3 fights in Florida wrapped up, because I think all 3 of them, 249 and the 2 after that, I think are all going to be there in Central Florida.
At that same venue, yeah.
And then by that time, that might get us to June, and we should have Fight Island ready to go.
I'm really looking forward to that.
I am too, because I want to see Dana White come out wearing like an old Kung Fu Master's uniform,
Gentlemen, welcome.
That's what I want to see. I want to see him as playing in the role of Mr. Hot.
Honor our island. I was about to do the whole thing, but that'd take another 5 minutes.
Shit.
Let's get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, got beers to drink. Hope all of you have a great weekend. Don't give in to the fucking fear. Don't listen to these people that want to change you.
And when in doubt, have a friend that can cook and make kick-ass tacos.
There's that. I got some mead to put together. Hey, you guys have a great fucking week. We'll see you again next week. And Shit, and then the week after that, we'll be actually breaking down a card.
Do everything I wouldn't do.
Yeah, there's that. Trivium, turn it up really loud. What the dead men say.